All right, let's talk Cocaine Bear. An oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converge on a Georgia forest where a huge black bear goes on a murderous rampage after unintentionally ingesting cocaine. This movie has a 70% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and a 74% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Mike, Aiden, what do you guys think?
I'm pissed that I went and seen this movie, to be
It's
honest
a
with you.
movie.
See, I felt like Mike was going to hate it, and me and Aiden would be like, yeah, that's all right.
Oh, I absolutely didn't hate it. But I mean, it I thought it was good for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
It had a pretty good cast, which was surprising. I mean, starting I literally didn't even watch the trailer for this movie. I just saw a cocaine bear, and that was about it.
Yeah, I've seen it
But it
everywhere on
ended up
Twitter.
we ended up having the red-haired guy from Modern Families in there,
Yep.
which I didn't believe. It didn't look like him. We need to look up if that original camper was the guy from Game of Thrones. I don't
It
know if you
was.
could pull that up. It was.
Yeah, it was him.
That's funny. What was his
Dude, I
name?
could
Like
tell in his
Tormund?
face and his beard. Yeah.
Tormund or something like that.
Yeah, but I thought in
Uh,
Game of Thrones he was like bigger.
well, I mean, that was also what 5+ years ago.
Yeah, and I guess he's sitting next to like Jon Snow, who isn't the biggest guy, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, his name is Christopher Hivju.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a Norwegian actor.
Yeah, and I'm like, that sounds like the dude from Modern Family, but I haven't seen a ton of that show. So I looked it up and then that's when I was like, yeah, that's him. Because I knew that was Ice Cube's son. And then I
Yep.
didn't know that the guy was from Solo.
Yep, that's Han
Eddie.
Solo.
Yeah, Aiden told me that.
Well, I'm
So
looking at him, dude. Right when he popped up on camera, I'm like, all right, like I already know who that is, but I'm like, what was he on? And then
yeah.
finally it hit me that it was Han Solo. I'm not sure what the girl played in.
The mom?
Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear everything that's going on in the background.
Oh no, you're good.
Um,
The mom you mean?
but yeah, the mom. She looked familiar.
She was in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yep, that's what it was.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what
Yep,
else.
that's
She did look
exactly.
familiar right away. Yeah.
Yep. So
I looked that
that
up
and
after because I was like, she looks really familiar.
kid
She's a
actors weren't familiar with.
I haven't seen Rise of Skywalker, but apparently she's in that.
Mm, okay.
She's probably like one of the resistance.
She's in
people.
she's in Mission Impossible 2, Bedtime Stories. And
Oh,
Bedtime
bedtime stories.
That's what
Yeah,
yeah.
it is.
bedtime
Yeah,
stories.
so she's familiar. But I'm really curious what the budget was on this. Does it say it anywhere?
It might on IMDb. Hold on, I can check. I don't think it couldn't have been too crazy.
But the goat Ray Liotta's in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I'm seeing
This
here is
this got a
box office.
70% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hmm.
There's no way.
It's made over 30 million already.
Dude, it
Worldwide.
wasn't. Dude, this movie's gonna make even more money. We saw how packed that theater was tonight, and like everyone's talking about it. Fully the guys at work, and they're probably gonna go see it this weekend.
Yeah, we got the
Okay.
Creed's coming out.
It's gonna
John
get word
Wick.
of mouth though.
So I will say this. I didn't like this movie in a sense of like being a good movie, but it's just like a turn your brain off and watch it type of deal, I think.
It's stupid as hell.
It's stupid as hell. There are some parts where I was definitely busting out laughing for sure. I'm not gonna go tell people to go like, hey, watch this movie. I'll be like, if you want to see a dumb movie and you're gonna laugh and turn your brain off for an hour and a half, go see Cocaine Bear. But if you want to watch a good movie, don't watch it.
But that's why anyone's going to see that. Like,
That's
everyone's
fair.
just
That's
like
fair,
Cocaine
yeah.
Bear. Like, why the fuck is there a movie called Cocaine Bear? What
I
could it
mean-
possibly be about? And it's literally about a bear on cocaine.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other way to explain it. Like, the bear just eats and snorts a bunch of coke and then goes on like a rampage. And there's no
Josh.
story behind it either. Like,
What did you think of the movie?
I didn't know it was based off a true story. I just read an article on it like a couple minutes ago. Apparently a pilot did have like almost 880 pounds worth of cocaine up in a plane and was throwing it out.
What does that translate to in money?
Oh God, I don't know. Millions, I assume.
But
Right?
yeah, like hundreds
I
of
mean,
millions.
Probably, yeah. And then two, it did take place in 1985. It did land mostly in that park.
Yeah.
He did, die when he jumped out of the plane. He had Gucci loafers on, I guess. And a bear did congest like a ton of it. But it didn't kill anyone. It actually ended up dying itself.
I was gonna say, I'm
Um,
assuming it just died itself.
I was waiting
Yeah.
for like something to overdose.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when the movie starts, it says like it's based on a true story, and like
Well,
Obviously, it's a horror comedy, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. But
I didn't really see that as like a
Or
horror, to be
grab a
honest with
Coke.
you.
well, that's what it's limited, or that's what it's titled as, is like a horror comedy. I thought it was more of like a, I guess, thriller action
Oh,
comedy,
but that's the
maybe.
other thing
Yeah.
too, is that you got to think like the bear's 100% CGI, and it honestly didn't look that bad.
It
I
did.
think
No, I'm gonna say that,
the corniest scene out of all of them would be when the final scene where the new couples like seeing the bears in the park, and they all
Mhm.
look at them and it looks fake. It looks like a video game.
so. Are
Other
they
than
hitting
that,
at cocaine bears?
yeah,
Cocaine Shark.
cocaine bear,
I was
too
I
much
was
coke.
I was talking to another one of my buddies about this before, and they said it was like Sharknado vibes almost.
Sharknado is fucking ass. So like, that's not something
But
that you go
like,
see at the movies, and it's just awful. Like this wasn't that bad. It was cheesy and it was corny, but it wasn't. It's not as bad as I expected it to be.
yeah,
If we're
no,
being
100%.
honest.
I'm right there with you. I will say like I had really low expectations for this, and I'm glad I did. But
Mhm.
to be fair, like you said, like you hear the title Cocaine Bear, and
Right,
you're
like I
like,
gotta see this.
okay, I'm gonna see this just what it's about. But I know I'm not going in expecting a good movie that's gonna knock my socks off, pretty
Yeah.
You
much.
know what though? There was no character I hated. There's no character that I was annoyed when they're on screen. I thought they're all kind of funny and weird in their own ways. Especially the kids, the teenagers that were trying to.
I didn't like Ray's character, Sid. I
Oh,
mean,
really?
yeah, I didn't. I thought he was pretty corny. I thought he was just another kind of typical big bad that wasn't really like.
Oh yeah, but I mean that's kind of what like Ray Liotta plays.
Yeah, I mean,
Sometimes, I mean, this is easily his worst role, but
Hmm.
um, I mean, it's
But
just
it
good to see
worked
him.
out in a way for the story, I guess.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
The kids too. What did you guys think of the kids?
they're kids. I thought the Henry kid was funny.
Well, I know like sometimes like children actors can be kind of like, I don't know, cringy or like, it's tough, right? I know it's not an easy job, but like I think they're
Really,
both like really funny and I don't know.
No, I
I
mean, I thought
agree.
they did a good job.
I
I
thought
think
the
I'll get
oh,
to it right now. I think the worst scene is when they're following the paint trail, like finding her daughter that's obviously missing that the monster took, but you didn't see it once like drag her away, and like obviously she makes a paint trail and she leaves her sweater, so like she's making the path. I thought that she would just so happen to be like hiding in that cave, but whenever they're like, "Oh my god, is she okay?" And then it cuts to a scene of like a pan just to her in the cave, like mom. Like
Yeah.
it's like, all right, well, there's the whole suspense of like, is she okay or is she hurt? Like,
no, I
obviously
remember
she's alive.
I heard you in the movie theaters when you said you were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
when
I'm
you
like,
seen
whoa, that
that.
was fucking pointless.
No,
Yeah.
I thought Dee Dee and Henry were funny though, to be honest with you. I think I will say like the scene where they both ate like a Coke on the knife, I was like,
That shit was
all right,
funny.
all right, it's funny, but I'm like, all right, come on, like really?
Yeah. Well,
This
because
is
like
rated
that's
R,
what a
right?
kid would think.
A million
Uh
percent. I'm
yes,
not
it
even
is.
looking at it. And
Yeah, it is.
if it's not rated R, like there is no fucking way.
Well, what did you guys think about like Elizabeth Banks being the director of this? I did not know that either. Did you know that?
Yeah, you seen it at first, like two
No, I know,
times.
like before going in, I mean, like
Oh,
watching the trailer, because I did see the trailer, I just didn't know it was her
oh yeah.
movie.
I
Who is
mean,
Elizabeth Banks?
She was
she
in
does
Spider-Man 2, like she played what's her name? She works for JJ or Jay
J.J.
Jonathan.
Horrible.
Yeah. And then she was in Catching Fire. You know who she is if you've
you
seen
know
her.
who she is, Aiden,
She
if you
was
looked at her.
Evie in.
Yeah, she's in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Is she
And
Evie from Hunger Games?
Evie in Pokemon.
Or is it
I don't know.
not Evie? Maybe it's Ellie, the girl that does all the crazy
Yeah, she
fucking
grabs
makeup
the
and shit.
balls out of the thing and reads
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Yeah.
names.
The
Yeah.
papers.
Yeah, papers.
She's in
Sorry.
a lot of movies. She's in
She
Charlie's
is in a lot of
Angels,
stuff.
Pitch Perfect 2,
Yeah, I see it now.
40-Year-Old
Yeah.
Virgin, Fred Claus. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know
It's
she
crazy.
directs, but I think she did. I think she did a pretty good job.
I
We
think
gotta think like. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I think this is really good directing, honestly. I will say like it looked good.
Ah.
There's a couple like scenes
Yeah.
where you're like, yeah, but it's Cocaine Bear. Like
Mhm.
lower your expectations a
No,
little
I
bit.
definitely. But for that's what I'm like. I'm curious what the budget was for. How much the budget was for this movie? Did you end up finding that out?
No, I didn't see it on IMDb. I think I heard somewhere it was 10, but I don't want to I don't want to say that for
Let me see
sure.
real quick.
Only 10
Probably got it
million?
wrong.
I don't know. I might
30
be
to
wrong on that.
35. It says.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's
So
made over
honestly
30
insane.
million already.
Yeah, it's grossed 30 million worldwide, and it's been out not even a week yet. Came out on Friday.
Friday. Yeah. It's not even a week.
So
A week from when this episode came out.
Yeah, I mean,
Also really quick, rest in peace, Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
You know, I forgot he was in this, and we looked it up too.
What's
when
the
we did
thing is they didn't even
Blackbird.
market with him. Like the marketing team
Well,
didn't push anything about Ray
I wonder,
Liotta
I
being in
wonder,
this.
I wonder why. Because they didn't want to use that as like a scheme or a way to pull people into the movie.
But I mean, that's what you do with casting, regardless. You cast
I
someone
know,
to make money.
I know, but it's so recent though. It's hard.
I guess.
Yeah. You know,
But,
character I liked a lot. I liked Bob a lot, the cop.
Nah,
Yeah,
That
he was
ends up
good.
I
on the
liked
gazebo.
I liked the Forest Ranger Margot, bro. That shit was she had
yeah,
me.
she was funny. And she's
When they-
like
no, no,
she's an
no.
established actress as well.
Yeah,
She's
Yeah.
in a bunch of shit.
She was just in the Watcher too.
Yeah.
no, but when they were in the ambulance, bro.
That shit had me dying. That was
But I
hilarious.
literally busted out laughing. This is the first time I busted out laughing in a long time in the movie theaters. But she was like, "Shut the fucking door, idiot!"
Dude, what about when she head taps that kid?
Yeah, bro.
When she
Shoots
what?
that kid. When she
Oh
shoots
yeah, when
that
she
kid.
shoots the shit out of him, that was crazy. I don't know. That shit was
Like-
hilarious. That whole scene was insane right there with the ambulance ride. They go from
Yes.
killing all those people, then the ambulance showing up, then the bear pushing the door on top of the guy, and then him running away. And the bear just takes the bait, the duffel bag is bait because he thinks that coke's in it.
No.
Uh,
Josh, you said that there's not a bad like member of the cast that you didn't like.
Yeah.
What about the three kids? The Shane, who is it? Stash,
But Mike, they made me
Ponytail?
laugh. They made me
No,
laugh.
that
every
was-
oh,
time
I
he
gotta
spoke.
see. Aaron Holiday looked familiar, man. I didn't see what he was in.
Yeah, look him up. Is he the blonde one?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's the
on
blonde one.
anything.
He's the one that
Not shit.
Dude, the one that went in there first to steal that candy from her, and
Shit was hilarious.
and she blames him for smoking the cigarette.
He's
That
like,
shit was so funny.
Well, dude, I had
What?
no idea. Like, imagine if David Spade would have played the guy that the dude from Modern Family played. That shit would have been
Yes.
10 times funnier.
Yeah.
Like, it would have brought like. I feel like that's the thing is like, they did hit some good points, like in a comedic standpoint, but like the cop, the sheriff, he could have had some way better like one-liners, like when the bear comes out, like, what's he been like? What the hell? Like he could have just said stupid shit, you know.
But dude, his lines were pretty funny. Like
They were
everything with
funny,
the
but
dog was
they could have
hilarious.
been yeah, that was funny. But like I'm just saying they could have been a little bit better. Like you just got to get I don't know.
When he called because he ordered a lab and got that dog instead of those, shit was so funny.
Stupid as hell.
I liked Ice Cube's son a lot in this. Honestly, I
Yeah.
think he was a
Yes.
really good part of this movie. He when he beat the fuck out of those three kids in the bathroom, that shit was hilarious.
And he got stabbed.
And then he
Yeah.
got stabbed. Yeah.
So funny. But no,
Yeah,
I
I
thought that
thought,
shit was funny because the Margot, like the sheriff, the wildlife sheriff, who's
Her,
like
her name's actually Margot Martindale.
yeah,
She's,
Yeah,
um,
Ranger Liz is her character.
she
yeah.
goes and she's like
That's where I seen her from, The Watcher. That's
yeah.
the most recent thing she's been in that I've seen.
But she
her in.
just
She was
said
in
some
like Hannah
stupid
Montana
shit,
and all
like,
that shit too.
they'll pop out of nowhere, and then it just cuts to the scene of the dude in the bathroom. And you see all three of them behind. But
Dexter
it's,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's really good. Yeah, dude, those three kids just every time they would talk, they talk so weird and stupid and like the shit they'd say.
It was just too much for me. I didn't think it was good, to be honest.
No, I thought the one guy Stash was funny when he was like when it was the four of them and the bears there. Like that
Yeah.
shit was just stupid. He's like, I don't even know what he
Hey,
said, but there was
I
one thing
wonder-
that was hilarious.
Hey, look in the camera really quick. I wonder why you like that character.
No, I
you
look
got a-
more like the dude
You
from
got a
Modern
goddamn
Family,
rat
the
tail
Ranger
underneath your
guy.
nose. Caterpillar.
The Ranger dude popped up with his shitty mustache. I was like, oh god.
Yeah, because dude, he had that mustache and then he had like the fake wig. And I go to Aiden, I'm like, is that the dude from Modern Family? He's like, I don't think so. And then I looked it up.
It looks
And
like
then
Ron
too-
Weasley for a quick second.
Yeah, and then Christopher, I asked at the beginning of the movie, the redhead Christopher, I was like, is that the dude from Game of Thrones? And then Aiden was like, I don't know. And then like it kind of showed her like a panned out shot, and I go, oh, like I felt like an idiot. I'm like, that's not him. And then I
No.
looked it up after, and I'm like, oh my god, it was him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you
It's
looked
just the
up that,
voice and the face.
Jesse Tyler Ferguson was Peter.
Yeah, I looked it up during the
That
movie
shit-
because it was bugging
And then right
me.
when you said it, I was like, all right, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
What
because the
about,
voice, dude.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. I honestly I had no idea. Even when they first showed him like pull up in his car, I was like, I didn't. It wasn't
Yeah,
familiar to me.
and I like all like the different characters
Sorry.
too. Like there is like a ranger, there's a cop, there's
well, how is
a
it that they all
wildlife-
just so happen to show up there? Like,
Yeah.
everyone's just
It's
pulling up at the
cinema.
same time.
It's cinema.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just that's how it is. But
So,
it is funny as shit. No one leaves. The
Would
kids
you guys
just skip school and go there. That's how they end up in all of it.
what do you guys think about Eddie, his character?
I liked Eddie a lot. I don't know. He was really funny too, and he's when he was eating that pasta in the bar, and then
Yeah.
David was like, does that come with chicken? He's like, no, it's just plain. I
That
thought
made
that
me
shit was
laugh.
just like funny because I whispered to Aiden, I'm like, that looks really good actually, because me and Aiden were both pretty hungry. I was like,
It
that
looked
looks
like
really
butter
good.
noodles.
I'm gonna say this now.
Looks like Alfredo.
No, the actor that portrays Eddie is gonna be an Ironheart.
Is he?
Yeah, he's gonna be an Ironheart. Yeah.
Is he like the villain?
I have no idea. It just says
He's
Okay.
not gonna be an Ironheart.
Yeah.
For
I
what?
just talked with Kevin Feige actually.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got off phone with him?
Yeah.
But no, I mean the only thing I've seen him play in was literally Solo.
and then
he
he's
even said that he wants to come back for more Solo, but
Yeah, once you said Solo, I was like, oh my god, that is him. I guess with the beard, it was kind of hard to tell.
picked up a lot of Star Wars people for this movie.
Yeah. No, I mean, we can't complain about the cast. I think the cast was like great. I think they're
Yeah,
all really
yeah.
funny.
I'm
But that's the thing too,
surprised-
is that
I'm
they literally pitched
surprised-
this
30, 35 mil. Like I'm surprised they got this many like good actors in this movie.
That's what
wonder,
I'm
like,
saying. I mean, the cast was good for what it was. There's
Imagine-
not even that
imagine-
many people in it.
Imagine being Elizabeth Banks. Like, yeah, listen, we have a bear on cocaine. You're gonna be the, the in the like. It's stupid. It's a stupid fucking.
I thought it was good though. I mean, honestly, like I think the stupidest character would be Officer Reba, because like her thing was just absolutely pointless.
Officer Reba.
Yeah, she's the
girl
double
that just
agent.
switches sides.
Oh, the okay.
Yeah, they don't even say like, "Oh, how does he know her?" And then he like goes to shoot her in the back after she just fucking
Yeah,
took
I
a
agree.
side. It just
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense.
I thought the only funny part was when Bob was like, after he was shot and he was laying on the gazebo and he's just like,
Who goes there?
the United States trusted you and saying all
Yeah.
this shit. I thought that was really funny.
That I liked the detective a lot. I think his character was really funny.
He's good.
Hmm. Yeah, dude. Every time, every word he'd say was just him and Ranger Liz. Every time they spoke, just made me laugh. Henry was so funny too. The kid.
Yeah, Henry was.
Henry
funny.
was,
He's got
like,
that
really
shitty
funny.
Dylan accent.
Yeah,
I was like, God.
yeah. A little
What was
cookie
he
twang.
when before they ate the cocaine off the knife? What was he saying about him and his other buddy? And Dee Dee was like, "Why don't you eat it then? Like you're the one you're dealing."
He said,
cocaine."
yeah, he's like,
They
he
do it
tried
on
to
the
act cool.
streets.
He's like, yeah, we do it all the time. Like, how do you do it? He's like, you eat it.
She's like, how much? A teaspoon worth. That shit was funny. Because like you gotta think a little kid does not know how to do cocaine,
But
obviously.
there's no way like they should have made them like delusional or something towards the end of the movie because there's no way even if they spit it out that shit
Yeah.
is not affecting them at all. Like there's just no possible way even being around it.
What
Like
do you
they're
mean?
the
Well,
coke,
cocaine doesn't even last that long, right? We wouldn't know on this podcast.
I wouldn't
but
know.
I think it only
Let's find
it
out.
only stays in your system. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
we'll try
yeah.
it during this episode.
No,
but-
I mean, what are you talking about? When the kid, like, you're talking about in real life or in the movie? Mike?
no, in the movie, like
in
they
the
should have been
movie.
messed up.
Oh, the
after-
kid was for sure like messed up.
Yeah, I mean he was hugging on
Like,
that
even
tree
when
for
he
dear life.
sniffed a little bit of it.
That's
But
what
I
I'm
mean, they didn't
saying.
show them being high because I don't think they want to show the kids being high.
Well, they should have been like
They showed him
delusional
eating
or
it.
something.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they definitely, they could have played more of an effect on like the kids like passing out or doing some shit
Yeah.
or fucking freaking out. But I mean, then again, that little ass kid climbed that fucking tree, just like the one guy, the ranger,
Peter. Yeah.
Yeah, Peter takes some and he gets his face full of coke, and then he just scales a tree in seconds.
Yeah,
It's like,
that
"Where
was
is it?
funny.
Where is it?
What did you guys think of the kills?
I thought they were good. I thought they look actually legit.
Yeah,
The fucking cart when the ranger dies and skids like on her face. That shit was
yeah, those kills were brutal. And then when she comes
Yeah,
out of the
that was
windshield
bad.
like that, those
Yeah.
were.
What about
brutal.
when the little cubs were eating the Sid's intestines at the end, man? That shit,
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah,
But I mean, it was all practical. It looked legit. It looked good.
nuts.
No, I'll give Elizabeth Banks her props. Like I think like this is a really well directed movie. It looks good. I think it's just more so the script. Like, and to
But
be
it
fair,
did get you to
even-
laugh at certain
just,
points, right?
just
Mike?
the premise
But
of the
you-
movie too.
You
But
can't
yes,
even write a good script for a bear on cocaine. Like I think they did a pretty good job of how they did it.
I agree. But again, like I think the ceiling for a perfect movie is probably still like an 80, 85. So like 100, like 100 would be just like a normal movie, like being really, really good. But for this movie, like this cannot get above an 85.
But you did laugh like a few different times, right? Besides that one scene.
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%.
Okay, so I know you said you probably wouldn't recommend this to someone, but you don't really regret seeing it, right?
No, I'm bullshitting. I'm being a hater. I would recommend like, hey, if you want to like turn your brain off for an hour and a half and laugh a
Yeah.
little bit, go see Cocaine Bear. That's what I would
Yeah,
say.
like would I ever rewatch it? I don't know, maybe not. But like if someone asked me about it, I'd be like, yeah, it's pretty funny. It's a fun
Yeah.
movie to watch. I mean,
Yeah, I would
it's an hour
100% recommend it
35.
to someone.
Yeah, it is an hour 35, and I think it feels kind of long.
It did feel
Like
long.
especially in the first like 20 minutes. Like the beginning kind of drags a little. But I did have fun with it. Like it's definitely better than the last Bear movie I saw.
And you also got to think, you got to take into consideration that literally like the entire movie, it happens in like the span of like what, 2 days, 3 days? Because like that guy's still in the woods, the original guy, the two hikers that we see. And like obviously, like you think that when you see him pop up again, you're like, oh shit, like I thought it was the ranger, the dude from what's his name? I thought it was
Christopher
Peter.
Olaf.
I thought it was Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh shit, like that's that guy. And it's like, oh, how long has he been stranded out there? But it's only been like a couple days, like it's just recent.
Yeah, I can't believe he's still hanging out there.
Yeah.
I think it felt long too, just because like the scenery, it didn't change. Like it was just simply in the forest pretty much the whole movie. So
they just kept reshooting, especially with the payphone and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Well, and you got to think like there's parts where like Eddie, David, and like the kid are walking to the gazebo, and there's like the part where the sheriff's accidentally kills the kid and is fighting off the bear. Like there's things that are happening at the same time. Yeah, Forest Ranger. They're all doing things at the same time, so that's why. Which I kind of like that. I mean, again, there wasn't like a part where like we'd go to a certain group of people and I'd be like, oh, like come on, can we get back to the other group?
I agree.
No, every time we went to a group of people, I just laughed. Now, were there funnier characters than others? Sure, but
yeah. What are the odds that they all go in at the end of the movie back to their cars, like when he gets the dog and all that, and they don't peek inside the cabin, like the main place, and like see all?
Yeah, the door's got to be open, right?
Like, and how was that dude's head chopped off?
Yeah,
clean. Yeah, I will say the trailer definitely did a really good job for me in terms of like not letting me know what to expect with this movie. But yeah, I think it pulled the best parts of the some of the best parts of the movie in the trailer in the 2 minutes that we've seen before. But yeah.
Dude, and the fact that it was a main or true story to the point where like a guy was actually throwing all this cocaine out this plane and did actually die.
That shit was funny when he hit his fucking head at the beginning.
Yeah, even the park name is like real. Like that's where it really landed and stuff like that.
Was it called Blood Mountain or something?
Yeah, Blood Mountain.
Yeah, the actual like park was it's got like a long name.
And I'm sure the clips they showed
Kachichua National Forest. Sorry, what were you saying, Mike?
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying that I'm sure that the clips that they showed of the news reporters like talking about it were probably 100% real too.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And the guy that landed in the driveway in Knoxville with the Gucci loafers, he had roughly $15 million worth of cocaine strapped to his body when they found him. So
yeah, upwards of a couple $100 million for sure.
Yeah, they still haven't found all the
they still haven't
the kilos of cocaine. So
and that's true. So basically, the only part
I said we can leave now. We can make it. We make it in time.
Yeah, we can make it there. The only part that wasn't real in the movie, obviously, was just all the killings. But like that's what made it
the entertainment factor.
Yeah, I mean, so but like I guess, and I'm cool with that. I think the fact that it is based off a true story to that extent is pretty cool. Because I obviously didn't know that. Yeah. So, and then too, it happened in September when the guy died.
What year did that? Oh, it happened in the
1985.
Oh, 85.
85. Yeah, they didn't find the dead bear until December of that year.
Really?
So yeah, so a couple months. Few months of it getting high.
Imagine like
I really wish.
Imagine living out there and thinking that a bear on cocaine could come fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's a shock to anyone that probably did see it.
Yeah, found a bear with all this cocaine in his system.
Yeah. Then the other thing is, I really wish like that end credit scene when the guy gets picked up by the hitchhiker. I wish the sheep, like when he puts the bag in there and then he's like, "Oh hell no!" But then I wish there would have been like 1 kilo left, like it fell out of the bag, just to set up like for oh my god, is there gonna be a second one? And Bill talking.
Well, yeah, because they're definitely setting up to something like him taking it somewhere and then maybe another animal getting it, like we said earlier, maybe a cocaine shark or something like that. I think that's the writers were alluding to maybe that being a sequel, but I don't know.
So I could see them making a dumbass franchise out of this.
Like cocaine squirrel or something.
No, cocaine goats, man. That's the shit that was in the back.
Well, what's that game? is it, Goat Simulator? They could literally
Yeah.
make that a movie.
Oh
I
my
could.
god,
Stupid
bro.
shit.
Don't even this is the type of thinking like the Winnie and Pooh fucking movie. Like there's some movies that just should simply
Well,
not happen.
Josh, is this better? How do you compare the two?
Yeah, I mean, with both being movies about bears murdering people, both being rated R.
I picked up
Um,
on that too, by the way, earlier.
yeah, and it only being like a
Bear
week and a
season?
half apart from when I saw them. This one's definitely the more better movie, more entertaining. The kills in Winnie the Pooh, though, I will say were way more gory, if you can believe it. They're way
Really?
more gory than these. Yeah. Like I cringed, like couldn't look at the screen, and that never really happens for me. The kills were
Really?
brutal, but yeah, this definitely is a better movie. I'd actually recommend people to watch this one over that if I was asked. But
Okay.
yeah, if this was on if this was on a streaming platform, like Netflix or something, and someone asked me,
Go
hey,
watch it. Yeah.
yeah, I'd say go
That's the
watch
thing
it.
is that if this was on Netflix, it'd
Yeah,
probably be number one.
yeah,
I
at
could
least a
see it.
week.
Like,
I could see
it
it.
would, because a lot of people would be like, "What the hell is this?" And then everyone would see it. But then again, I mean, it's hard for them to drop like a R-rated movie on there because there's so many kids. Like, how many kids are gonna see that? And
You
be like,
know,
oh, I do coke.
when you say that though, I can like if you would have told me like walking into this movie that Netflix made this movie, I would have not been surprised. And I sure as hell would have been surprised
No, I think
walking
they're
out of
like
the
a
movie.
Netflix movie.
I could definitely see like Netflix like being behind this movie for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Netflix probably would
I
have got a real bear.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Netflix probably wouldn't have had them eating the coke,
Yeah.
Exactly.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, again, I would recommend it if it was on a streaming platform and you want to watch it and you hadn't seen it. Do you guys remember like the first trailer being on Twitter and like everyone talking about it and how funny and wacky it looked? And I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So that's like one of my memories about this movie. So it's
Oh,
crazy
no.
that we were actually here watching it now.
So
That's
for
the
me,
craziest thing. Like, real quick, when you take into like that into a factor, like when you see something on Twitter and then you're like counting down the days and then you finally watch it, you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
or like
how
that looks
fast
so
time
good.
flies.
That looks so good. And then
No,
you're
it's
like,
just how fast like
oh.
time flies. Like we've been waiting on Mandalorian. Mandalorian comes out tomorrow. Like
Yeah.
that shit's crazy. Get
Yeah.
out of here, go.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much everything we had to say. We can kind of get into scores here if you guys want to do that.
Is
I
there
don't
any
even know what I'm gonna give this.
is there any trivia that you got for it, Josh, or no?
No, no. I mean, I was curious when I got home. That was one of the first things I did when I got home after watching it because we just finished watching it. I wanted to read about what was true because I
Yeah.
figured that the killings weren't true, but I was like, was a bear actually involved? Like, I was curious on that kind of aspect of it, and did it actually congest cocaine? So, ingest cocaine, and yeah. So I really like that. Actually, it was based off a true story to that extent. So I think it worked really
Yeah.
well.
Absolutely. Well, I can go first here for our scores.
Okay.
So honestly, like I said earlier, man, if it's on a streaming platform, I think we can all agree that like 100% go watch this. This is one of those kind of outlandish movies that you're just like, what the fuck? Like a
It was
cocaine.
worth $5. I'll say that.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. If you're going on a Tuesday at MGR for sure, $5, but upwards of like $15-$20. I don't know about that for a movie ticket for this movie. But I thought for the most part it looked good. I think Elizabeth Banks did an amazing job with what she had. I think the cast was, for the most part, 90% really good, except for those three kids. I really hated that part of the movie. If there's one thing I could change about this movie, it'd be those three kids, to be honest with you.
Fair.
But for the most part, though, man, it'll make you kind of slap your knee a little bit, chuckle a little bit. It's an entertaining watch, but don't expect to have your socks knocked off for a movie called Cocaine Bear. But
Yeah.
with that said, I'm gonna give it a 63 out of 100.
Solid. Want me to go, Josh?
Yeah, you can. Or I can go. I have a score already.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie as a comedy. It did give me to laugh a lot. I think I kind of had the giggles during this because there was a point where it's when the bear's on the roof and the ranger's got the gun and she's like kind of looking around and the other kid's trying to be quiet and the bear's just like moving around on the roof and it like made me chuckle and the theater's completely dead silent, like quiet because it's a quiet scene, and I laughed and I'm just looking around like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't have laughed there. But I don't know, like everything was just because it's so wacky. You go into it not really expecting a great movie or a Tarantino-esque type, James Cameron movie, right? It's like, no, you're going there just to have fun. It's a goofy movie about a bear doing cocaine, killing people, right? And I think it delivered on that. I think the CGI is some of the best CGI we've seen from big,
Shit, Marvel
blockbuster
needs to take
movies.
them.
Where the fuck is the CGI when we need it, man?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a lot less CGI, but also it's a lot less of a budget too, right? You gotta think that. So I'm gonna go with a 72. I think the comedy's really, really good, actually. Thriller, could have been better. Like I said, the pacing at the beginning is kind of slow. There isn't a ton of plot, right? But it's just a movie about a bear killing people, doing cocaine, and
There's
it
no
delivers
story.
on that aspect. Yeah, so I enjoyed my time. I don't regret seeing it. And if someone did ask, I would probably say, yeah, check it out. If you enjoy comedies, check that out. So I'm gonna go with the 72.
Oh man, it's pretty high.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I did enjoy this movie. I had zero expectations going into this theater, and I mean, I'm glad I went and saw it. I thought it was entertaining. I thought the killing scenes were like gory just enough, like they were good, like they weren't cheesy or anything like that. They made me uneasy at some points, like especially that one dragged out scene from uh inside the cabin when all that goes down and then all the way till the ambulance chase. I thought that was good. I thought the CGI on the bear was above par, honestly. Like
It was.
it shocked me. The first time I saw it, I was like, wow, this actually doesn't look like shit. One thing I absolutely hated was the shitty scene where it just shows the daughter's okay. And then I absolutely hated the no, I think that was really it, honestly. That's the only thing that I can knock
Maybe
on.
the pacing.
Yeah, pacing, it did seem long. Some of it did seem dragged out.
It's an hour 30 movie though.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
but it didn't
if it
feel
was
like it.
any
It felt
longer,
longer than that,
yeah,
though.
it does. If it was any longer, it would have been bad.
Hmm.
Move. I did like the shot from the waterfall. I thought all that looked good. Like even showing the waterfall going, and then that one shot where it shows like, the national park or wherever they're at. I really like that. Another thing that I didn't like was when the ranger originally like goes in, the kid's up in the tree, and there's the three of them. When he's like going around crawling, you could tell it was like a set stage, like
Sure.
all the grass is flat and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, but it's a movie, so for 35 million, I think they did a damn good job. So I feel confident giving this a 69 out of 100. um you know right up there. It's not perfect, but I would recommend it to someone.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, and I think
Shit that my dad would love. So
now tell
yeah.
me, when you say 69 out of 100, is there anything else you're thinking about when you say that number in particular?
I can't. Honestly, not off the top of my head, but
It's just his favorite number.
if it does come to me, I will let you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think like a 60 to 70 range is a fair score for this movie.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we all are kind of around there. Because I figured on my drive home, I'm like, I feel like maybe I did like it a little bit more than them. Which is fair. But I think around 60s and 70s is fair. I think if one of us gave it a 40, it'd be like a little unfair, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Uh,
not gonna, yeah, like I said,
movies.
but then again, I mean, all the people that we went with tonight, I wonder how everyone else feels about it.
Yeah.
Did someone absolutely hate it? I think
Yeah.
Mike and Steve thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Steve's
Yeah.
Steve's on his way to the forest right now.
Yeah, they're 30-year-old men trapped in 14-year-old boys trapped in
30, all
30-year-old
right,
men.
come on. They're like
Yeah.
40.
Okay, 50. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was our Cocaine Bear review. We'll be back Tuesday. We're doing Enemy.
Ooh,
Aiden recommended
can't
it. I
wait.
don't think any of us have seen it yet. So it's on HBO right now.
Aiden, who's your enemy?
Who's it?
Myself.
Damn.
That was
That's
a
deep.
long pause. That was
That's
deep,
deep.
man.
That is deep.
Damn.
Look,
Yeah,
look yourself in the mirror and say, "Who are you? Who am
I
I?"
am.
Yeah. So it's a good movie. We're excited to do
Yeah.
it. We'll be back Tuesday. Download, go check out our YouTube, all that jazz.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Ask us to
but-
join the Discord. Links in bio. So
Yep.
we're trying
Really
to get
quick,
some.
hey, Spotify or Apple Music? What do you guys think?
Apple Music.
Aiden?
Apple Music.
Yeah, we're both Apple Music guys. Brian and Andrew Spotify guys though.
Well,
Spotify's like
I'll
the
break
bro.
I'll break the tiebreaker. I'm gonna go Apple Music. So
Yeah, I mean, we all have iPhones too.
So
So,
real quick, I did find someone that I work with that listens to podcasts on iHeartRadio. So
oh, really?
yeah,
Yeah, we
Really?
get a lot of numbers on that actually.
yeah.
So,
I plugged them today. So Ryan,
Awesome.
if you're listening to this,
shout out to you.
yeah,
Shout
yes,
out.
sir. Shout out.
All right,
Appreciate you,
boys.
boys.
Yeah, guys, we'll see you next episode.
See ya.
Peace out.